Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Kenny Conversation, brought to you by Jegs, the leader in high-performance aftermarket car parts. Remember to go to jegs.com for anything you need to fix your everyday vehicle up or even your hot rod. Well, you're looking at him, one of my longest friends in racing, and now, he's got a big-time leadership role at Kaulig Racing, my dear friend Chris Rice. Chris, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, and as always, you make me smile no matter what you're doing, so thank you for that.
Oh, man, let's go right here, right away. As I was studying for our Kenny Conversation, I like what you say on your social media. Everybody's got a headline, and on your headline, it says, trying to make as many people smile as you can. You've always been a fun, good person. Where does that come from? Mom, dad?
Well, it comes from both sides of my family, but my mom is very loved by the sport and has been for a long time. But, as back when I was a bigger guy, my jolly self, I could make people laugh. And now I'm changing that and trying to change people's lives and their health. Looking into starting some sort of charitable giving to try to get people's health in check. Anybody that's having fear of doing something like that. So if I can make people smile doing that, it comes from my mom and dad's side, really.
I love it. Okay, everybody, listen up. We are going to talk about Kaulig Racing's role with Ram. The Ram trucks are coming back to NASCAR, and they have chose Kaulig Racing, and you're looking at him, Chris Rice, to lead this. And we're going to even go back to Chris's early days when he joined the Sadler brothers back in South Boston, Virginia. But right now, let's just stay right where we are. My disclaimer is you were my crew chief, and I ran good with you. And you were a bigger man. And then you even taught me some good foods. So when did you decide? I mean, you are in excellent shape right now. I watch you work out. What moment made you go, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to get healthy?
So if you remember the '09 truck and the '09 car you drove, family farmer's truck, my dad had heart surgery then. He had open heart surgery, and my family has always had, heart issues or whatever. And it didn't hit me until about 3 years later when I left that team, RAB. Robbie Ben was great to me. Don't have a bad word to say about him. And I left that team and I thought, man, I'm going to be out of racing. I got to fix myself. I got to do different things. And then we built this program. I met Matt and we built this program. And I started looking at myself as I was putting sports coats on and just different things. And I thought to myself, man, I just kind of look bad as a person. Like I have a great personality. Why doesn't my body follow that? And mentally, I went through a lot of hardships, trying to build this, trying to find an OEM that would help us and push us. We had Chevrolet, but not really that big key partner. And mentally, I needed a space. And it's two things you can do, Kenny. You can go to the bar or you can go do something for yourself. And I chose the gym. Some people go to the library. Some people go do different things. I chose the gym. And when I chose the gym, I went in there, a big guy, and I guess kept staying hurt. And I'm like, and a sign hit me. It says, you can't outwork out a diet. And my redneck ass, just kept saying, oh, I say that word. I just kept going, what does that mean? I'd come and welcome North Carolina and eat hush puppies and all this stuff. And I finally, 2 years ago, I said, hey, it's time to fix Chris Rice. I went from 270 pounds over the last 2 years. I'm 202 this morning with about 52 pounds of muscle weight. And I don't want to be bulky. I don't want to be that guy that, is like, rah. I don't take anything to grow my muscles, anything like that. This is all very natural. I do peptides and stuff like that because I've learned about that through my doctor and, because they call it a fountain of youth, and thank gosh we have the fountain of youth. If not, I'd probably be dead because how hard I ran back in the day. But I decided at 2.5 years ago, it was time to put it out to the world that I have a problem and I need to fix my body. And I have, dude. When I don't do those motivational videos, and I'm going to talk about you tomorrow in my motivational video. But if I don't do them, I just get beat up. Where are you at? And when I do them, people love them and they hit me up and they thank me. And I just see that person behind that keyboard smiling. I hate keyboard warriors that get mad, right? But I love keyboard people that smile. And when I see that, Kenny, it makes me so happy. It makes my day. So I've been really working hard on how do you do a charitable thing where you can raise money for the people that are not mentally strong enough to get out and change their body. They don't think they can. They don't feel like they can make things happen. So I'm going to do something like that because in the world of NASCAR, it's hard. So I take the gym and that's my stress relief. 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:55, I get up, I go to the gym. We have raised this to be a couple of guys that push me. We have a group text that we eat each other up pretty hard on, and it is very stress relieving. I come in here in a way better mood. I got a really nice shower in my office that Matt allowed me to build. I come in here and shower. You can see behind me, I got a bar back there that we entertain people at. And so I did it 2.5 years ago. Really, it was a very conscious effort to really fix my body.
I can relate. Back in 2012, I went to the, I came into NASCAR when there was not such a thing as a NASCAR physical. It was just like, we're going to Daytona, run across to the hospital and, Halifax and, get a little checkup. And the doctor goes, "You're okay." Well, then NASCAR said, "No, we want to see physicals." And my doctor said, "Okay, your sugar's at 120. If it gets to 122, we're going to have to put you on a sugar pill." And I remember going, "Stop." I called Mark Martin and, you and I are kind of like-minded in being happy. And there was a quote that changed my life and really just punched me right in the face. And it was one that I shared. It's the one that it goes like this: your life won't change until you change your life. And it really reminded me, oh my God, I'm in charge. Sometimes we blame everybody on everything that's wrong with us. Yeah, and I like your story, how you just took hold. And you look good, buddy. You look lean and mean, and
I'm
love
very
your
lean. I'm proud to say I got to 16% of body fat last month. Yeah, and I'm working on getting rid of the loose skin right now. I will not do any surgery. I don't believe in that. I think you personally can do it. It's going to take a little longer. And once I get rid of that, I might post a picture of it. I've been very, very private about keeping my shirt on and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe when I do, and it's not to gloat, right? Because it's people out there that can't get there. They mentally think they can't get there, right? And I want to be that guy or that person that can help them get to wherever they want to be. They might not be able to get to where I'm at. They might not be. Kenny, I remember when you and I were together, and I'm going to tell this story. And you taught me to be honest to race car drivers. You did. Yeah. I won't never forget this because I would always, just like, which has kind of hurt me a little bit because some drivers don't like for me to be honest. But you taught me that. I remember standing in California. I will never forget it. You had went cup racing. You came down to drive our cars. And if you remember correctly, our engines wasn't that great that year, but we really pushed hard in different things. And you pulled me to the side of the trailer and you said, and I'm not going to use the F-bomb, but you used the F-bomb. And you said, "What's this effing rumor about I can't drive with a right side window in?" And I said, "Oh, crap." Like, because you remember that's what people always said, Kenny Wallace can't drive with a right side window in. And I said,
that means a super speedway, a big track.
Big track. Yeah, like this 2-mile track back in California. I said, "Let me tell you something, Kenny. I don't listen to that." And that is what they say. And I was just perfectly honest with you. And I pressed you to show people. And we had some trickery stuff going on, and we were pretty good. And you went out running the top 3 all day at California. Best run you had at them places forever. And we went on to contend, and you won Charlotte and when you got in that other car. And you just, from your end of your career, what I call the end of your career, you took over the right side window, and you showed people that you could drive in anything you wanted to. But you taught me to be honest about what people say, which fired you and I up. And that's what I needed when I get fat, like I need people to be honest to me. Like you taught me to do with drivers, right? And I love that story when I tell younger kids because I remember that like it was yesterday, and it was a scary part of my life because I had to tell Kenny Wallace, if you don't forget, you had the sponsor, like you own the sponsor, Stacker Two. And you know, I know you remember that California day. We had that deal going on with our sway bar, and we were really good that day. I will never forget it.
I will never forget. Now you're making me think. I will never forget Charlotte when I wasn't sure what the car was doing.
Oh yeah,
and you were watching my hands, and you come in and you put for a lot of people that don't understand, he put a full what they call a black rubber in the right front. It amounts to 100 pounds. So if we had a 17-pound, 1,700, 1,600, it made it, and I took off. I mean,
you did.
I took.
You unlapped yourself. If you remember, we were running 10th, one lap down. You unlapped yourself, and we finished 6th that day. And we were bad. Like we were just, you were screaming. I was mad. We luckily had the in-car camera, and every time you drive in a corner, you would turn right. And I'm like, well, you're not going forward. And we did that, and we ran well that year. And if you remember, it was the year that the late Bill Davis, which was good to both of us.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's racing and everything doesn't fit what we want to do. But that the truck program was coming in, the Xfinity program was shutting down. And but you went on to carry that momentum on to the 22 car, if you remember. Like you carried that on with Todd Gordon and those guys, and you ran phenomenal from that time on. I won't never forget it in the Xfinity series. And, you know, I think it's time for you to think about running a Ram truck one time.
Hey, okay, we're going to move on, everybody, but that is a disclaimer. I'm going to add one more. I got another one that really helped me. Tough times last a while. Tough people last forever.
Look at us.
You got to battle through it, everybody. There's things, you know, to this day, I'm on social media. And you got to have thick skin, you know, because that's where we are in life right now. And this is the way, this is the way it's all done. This is our new advertising is digital social media, and the sponsors love it. And, you know, I tell everybody, Chris, I say, you know, my sponsors don't care about my dirt car. They want to know my numbers for social media.
So, hey. That's everybody, bro. See where we put these logos? Look at them.
Yeah, it looks good. Okay, everybody. So by accident, okay, we're going to have a little fun. C. Rice. That's Mr. Chris Rice, everybody. As my friend, you know, we would call him C. Rice because he's a badass and he gets things done. And now he's a businessman. So let's start like this. So many months ago, you know, breaking news in the garage area. And it was kind of confusing because this word Stellantis / Ram, it's kind of like, well, Ram, where's Dodge at? But now Ram is coming back into NASCAR. And man, listen, congratulations. They chose you and your team, Kaulig Racing, your owner, Matt Kaulig. They chose you all. So just kind of start from there, from the day that you heard about this and what happened to the word Dodge. And then we got Ram. Who is Stellantis? And just them choosing you, kind of take some time and talk about it all.
Yeah, I'll do a two-part, and I'll get to the Dodge thing at the end. 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I heard that some OEMs wanted to come into NASCAR. It's a small world, right? Like everybody listening to this, it's a very small world. So I'm like, how do we get into conversations? Nobody's going to put us into conversations. We got to put ourselves into conversations. So I was like, you heard Honda's coming. Well, I got a good friend that is in the Honda world, Michael Shank. So I'm like, hey, can I reach out to Michael Shank? How do I get in the Ram side or the Dodge side? We called it Dodge then because we kept hearing Dodge is coming back. How do we do that? So 2.5 years ago, maybe even, a little over 2.5 years ago, reached out to a guy and was able to acquire talking to him, and I don't know that I'm available to say his name yet. He hadn't gave me that, but everybody can kind of figure it out, and became a good relationship with this guy. And he got us in the door. Well, what we didn't know is obviously they're doing their due diligence. They're looking at us over the last 2 years. They're watching us. They're watching what we're doing, how we act on social media, how we act as a race team. Who are the partners that we're picking up? What are the drivers are we picking up? Who are some of the people we're hiring? Are we for real, or do we just want the money? We didn't know none of that. The next thing we didn't know is that they were talking to 3 other teams. So we were going to be a 4th team. We didn't know any of that. We got the opportunity to go and sit down with them and present our, Kaulig Racing to them. We said, hey, do you want a deck? Do you want anything like that? And they said, nope, we just want you guys to come up here and talk. So we went up there, and we worked pretty good as a team. Matt and I have been best friends since we started this. We worked pretty good as a team. He's trained me up how to run this business like he did lead for the gutter protection. So it was like, okay, so let's sit down and just be as brutally honest with them as we can be, because if they want the true Kaulig Racing, we can provide that. If they want us to be somebody different, we can't provide that. Like we are us. We are different than anybody else in the sport. You notice we've stayed far out of the news that's been in the sport forever. We've not said a word. We've not been involved in it. You don't see our name come up much. We just are different type people. We're very aggressive in our social media world. Myself, Matt, our race team, and we have companies that are aggressive, like Celsius, Grizzly nicotine pouches. We have aggressive companies. So we sit down with these guys, Tim Kaniskas, Nate, Ty, myself, and Matt. We were all in there, and we had a great conversation. We stood up after about a 4-hour meeting. They were showing us around a little bit. Tim shook our hand, said, we'll be talking. And the other guy was like, hey, we want to do X, Y, Z. What's that? What do you think that's going to be cost-wise? We'll talk tomorrow at 10 o'clock. This was 6 o'clock at night.
Wow.
He said, we'll talk tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Ty and I worked kind of all night talking back and forth for what we thought we could do. It started out as 3 trucks. That's what we were thinking. And 4 months later, we were picked.
Wow. 4 months. Wow, that was a long time. You had to wait a long time.
Dude, that's why I got a 5 head now instead of a 4 head. I was rubbing my head.
Brutal. Yeah.
And we work with those guys and their procurement people and their lawyers, along with why they were still making. I think we won it the day we went up there, but they've never told us. But we're so much like Ram. We're so much like them. We're very aggressive. We will do anything they want to do. Whether it's some great stuff coming out that they're going to have in January that you're going to love, Kenny. You're going to have Kenny conversations, coffee with Kenny that you're going to talk about and laugh about and go. I mean, you're going to better it's like when you and I text, right? We privately text and we don't talk about it, but you're going to be like, why this, Chris? Why that?
Yeah.
And I'll let it tell you. And it makes sense to it. But, when you talk about the Dodge, for me and you drove a Dodge. You called them
Dodge Ram. Yeah.
They used to call it Dodge Ram. So the company was put together, and they had an old CEO that separated it, right? The market share Rams sell a lot of Ram trucks, and so I think they wanted to kind of put that in one bucket, Dodges in another bucket. And what Tim Kaniskas has done is unheard of as a CEO, and you can go back and look at it, guys. You can do it. So when they separated Dodge and Ram, Dodge is a car, Ram is the truck. So it's that simple. It's not overthought about. It is nothing other than Ram is the truck, Dodge is the car. We're getting ready to go for immersion to get understood, or get us to understand everything they do, because it's a lot, right? Like when an OEM, you talk to an OEM, it's a lot, but it's super simple for the Dodge and the Ram. Yeah, we used to call it Dodge Ram, but now Dodge is a car, Ram is a truck. So the question is, when does Dodge come back to Cup? Not Ram is already in trucks. When does Dodge come back, right? Which is owned by Stellantis.
Wow.
Which is FCA, which used to be Fiat, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot. So they just separated Dodge is cars, Ram is trucks.
That's right. Yep.
And Stellantis is over all of it.
They're the parent company. Yeah.
I'll be darned. Okay, so you're looking at him, everybody. Once again, Chris Rice has just been named the CEO of Kaulig Racing. I mean, that's a big title. When was the moment that that Matt Kaulig, the owner of Kaulig Racing, when do you remember that? I mean, you get this big boost, which is Ram, and you're going to run 3 trucks. And then Matt says, okay, we're going to make you the CEO. Tell me, was it a phone call? Was it come here, sit down? That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And I actually have the paper over there. So Matt was the CEO and owner forever. And I was the president, which I was the boots on the ground. I was here running it. But Matt, everybody knows he owns the company. He lets me run it like it's my race team, has always did that. And I'm very fortunate that I've learned the business side from him. Well, when you get a company like Ram and you got Grizzly nicotine pouches and you got Celsius and you got Seabest and you got all these companies coming to you, they want to talk to the CEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to have a conversation with the CEO. And I'll be honest with you, Kenny, I've never been a big title guy. You know this. I'm a worker. I'm the guy. Like you see me right now with my college shirts under my sweatshirt because I'm always cold. But like I'm not that guy that thinks if I get a title, I'm any better than anybody in the shop. So when we went up to an event, Matt had us all up to an event where they had just acquired a huge company because Matt owns over 75 companies. He's either invested or owns over 75 companies. They had just won a bid to buy another company, and they wanted to have a good get together. We had just signed Ram. They wanted to have a company exec style get together, and we went up there and he had this really nice picture that I actually gave to my mom and dad. They hung in their house to where he named me CEO. And I had no idea. Like I really didn't. He did it in front of all of our peers and our people that work for us. And, and when I didn't know the impact changing your title from president to CEO, how big a deal that was going to make. And it's made a pretty big deal. And I'm not going to lie, he allows me to do things like a CEO. But what comes with it, and I've always said this, I understand the pressure that's put on people when they get that 3-letter word, right? CEO, like, because it's pressure.
Well, CEO, to me, it's now more people than normal are going to want to talk to you because they know either the buck stops here or you can help make things happen. So, yeah, I get you. Where, we're racers, we're in the pits, we're on top of the pit box, we're, part of this race team. But, it's like crew chief or car chief. And it's like, oh, what's the car chief do? Oh, he's the one that does what the crew chief wants to be done. So, yeah, CEO is a big deal. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I,
It's like winning a race. It was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't take it from you unless you do something stupid. So I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm going to keep working on me so I don't do anything stupid.
Does and I mean this in a fun way. When he named you CEO, was there a moment in the next week or month or day you went, "Oh damn, I gotta."
I'm still doing it, Kenny.
I'm still Chris, but I gotta be a little more mature, and I gotta watch my words. And
so I get if I'm gonna have anything to drink, I get a driver now. So because I know that's a big deal, right? Like
you cannot mess up.
You can't mess up if I'm gonna do something that is related to having to have a conversation with a lady here at work. I have somebody in here with me now because you just can't mess up. And the big thing that I think that I realized is at the racetrack, I can't be as accessible because I can't get to where I'm going. Dale Jr., I know he owns Dirty Mo Pot. I never understood that part of it. I love the fans. I would love to be out there with them. Talladega Boulevard, this, that, I would love that, but I've had to
you get in trouble
down on that a little bit. You can't do it. And I have my group of friends that doesn't look at me like the CEO. They still look at me like Chris, like you do, which is fun. And
I'm excited for you, though.
It is fun, and I love it. I do. When I lay my head down at night, I know we have over 150 people here now, and I know that my job is to get up so they can pay their house payments, they can pay their boat payments, they can pay their car payments or their Ram truck payments. They can do that's my job to make sure that they're comfortable and they can do that. Because you remember the days at Homestead when everybody was getting laid off and you didn't know if he was going to have a job. And now it's my job to make sure that these guys and girls have a great life to live.
I always zone in on things that I remember, and I remember we all had a nickname for that Monday after the last race. And Miami Homestead, like, Black Monday. It was NASCAR's Black Monday, where everybody's going to get fired and all the teams. But that really is something that I think about in the sport now that I'm older and more mature. In your position, you're looking at how many employees did you say you have?
We're over 150 now. We're going to end at about 155 to 160 this year. I would say in the next 4 years we'll be 280 to 380.
So now my point is now you look at every one of those people. They're married, they have children, and they're looking at you, and in a roundabout way, you and Matt are in charge of their whole life.
Whole life.
Yeah.
It's the way you and I looked back in the day when we looked at Bill Davis, right?
Yeah.
The late Bill Davis, like when you and I were together, or Robbie, or Brack. Remember Brack Marriott? Like we looked at those people like that. They kind of had our, and I hope we get to this. They had our life. You were fortunate enough you made it in Cup and for the guys and girls that don't know this, Kenny done a really good job of saving his money, and he actually gave me great tips with money, right? Like,
yep.
And so when we built Kaulig Racing, I built it on some of your values, Kenny. We give people 401ks. We give them insurance. We have a great benefit package because I remember you saying racing would not provide you with a retirement plan. I will never forget you telling me that. You told me that before. It was at Daytona before we went to Rockingham, missed a damn race. Sorry, I didn't mean to say damn, but anyway.
It's okay. It's all good.
You got to bleep it or whatever. But we give them the opportunity to retire here with a good life. And the Ellsworth car that you see me post the other day for my first win, that is our company that takes care of that. And you look at those people because you want to give them that good life. And if you give them that good life, they'll work so hard for you that you don't have to worry about succeeding, right? You don't have to worry about it.
And we all learn. I might add my viewpoint. I like this subject. And we're going to move on in a little bit here, everybody. But we all learn, whether mine was from, my great philosopher, Dick Trickle. Rusty was very strong-minded. But I had a childhood friend that worked for a union. And he said, Kenny, one thing that changed my mind, he says, I was in a meeting and this older man stood up and he looked at everybody. And he was picked to give a little speech to try to make a difference in these employees' brains. And he looked at them all and he said, okay, it's too late for me, guys, but it's not too late for you. Max your 401ks out. Max them out. You'll thank me when you get to be, 62 or 65. And I see that they do that in the NFL now. When these players make $40 million a year, they literally have a program, to say, okay, you're making a lot of money. You need to learn what to do with it. But yeah, that's part of life. And you and I have definitely done more than just race. Okay, we're moving on, everybody. Same subject matter, but we're moving on. Okay, now you're going to have 3 trucks. Are you all going to have any other teams, or are we focused on 3 trucks at Kaulig Racing?
We have 5 trucks.
5. Whoa, I've lost count. I'm looking at this free agent truck, which we're going to get to. Go through them all for me.
Yeah, so we have the 10 truck that is going to be at Daniel Dye. We have the 12 truck, which is going to be Butterbean Queen, which is going to be if you don't follow him, you need to follow him and Daniel Dye. They're going to interact so good together. And then we brought back Justin Haley. Justin lost his job in Cup, got him back. He's going to be in the 16 truck. The 14 truck is a secret. It's a top secret that you'll get to know about in January, which is cool. And then a 25 truck is the free agent truck. You will know what driver it is every Monday. I think the Daytona driver might get announced a little bit earlier so people can enjoy it for a little while. But the cool thing is every Monday you'll get to see who the driver will be in the 25 truck. And
I like that idea. That's exciting.
it's so exciting. And what's so fun about it, Kenny, is we're trying to get the audience outside of NASCAR. Like, right, we have our audience, like, we have our people. We love our people. I love our fans. I have probably, I don't know, 4,000 that are just dedicated Chris Rice fans. And when you see them, they're just so excited to see me. And I love them. But we're looking for that global person. I don't know if you've watched this lately or not, but watching Dana White with Kaulig Racing on his shirt at a UFC
I see
fight,
it all.
is awesome. And I was able to present that guy with that shirt, but I can't say that, right? I can't, because that's him. We're trying to get the global part to come into NASCAR now that all the rigmarole is over. Get them to come in here, buy into our sport, train us up what they want to see, and all 5 trucks are going to be exciting. There's going to be something exciting inside of all 5 trucks that we're not telling everybody, but every now and then. And I love it.
They're all saying on the internet, Tony Stewart's going to drive that truck. Now, whether it's true or not, it's got everybody talking. So y'all did the right thing.
You get them talking. What did they say? You build it, they will come. You get them talking. Maybe Tony will call us. Maybe he will. So I think he left with pretty bad
taste.
Yeah, I don't think he left NASCAR too happy.
And I want to. And when we get done celebrating you, and that's next, when we get done celebrating you, I do want to talk to you about NASCAR. So hang in here, everybody. Once again, we're talking to Chris Rice, the CEO of Kaulig Racing. They've recently been awarded, as Chris just says, 5 Ram trucks, and they're all exciting. Butterbean Queen, man, he deserved this. He has won in the cars, all the stock cars around South Boston, and then he goes on and wins everything there is in Arkham. And Daniel Dye, I love his full. I want his hair. I want Daniel Dye's hair. But you got 2 good guys right there, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, we do. If I had Daniel Dye's hair, I wouldn't worry about my 5 head. You know what I mean? I don't have it. He cut it so he could look better, and Daniel's gonna
get his helmet on.
Yeah. You need that sock like you used to wear or still wear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you should do with that sock? Can we sponsor that sock next year?
Let me tell you, that sock started. My helmets smelled so bad, and the salt was absorbing. And somebody from Stacker 2, the wife of Bob Aquafino, she gave me those, and it just kept me cleaner because I'm a clean freak. I don't like smell, and I wear those socks so when I sweat, it stays contained. And you see the football players wear those socks.
Well, I want to sponsor it next year, so just tell me what it'd take to get Kaulig Racing on the sock, okay? That's what I want to do. I've always said we can tattoo our forehead, so we can put our name on that sock. So, but Daniel has a big heart for Ram and Dodge because his dad has a dealership, Randy Dye, and stuff like that. So Daniel's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders to do good in the Ram. Butterbean, man, he is just so thankful he made it, right? He's made it to the Ram trucks. He knows that this is his time. He's got to go. There's a pathway to Cup through at Kaulig Racing. So he's got to go. He's got to get after it. It's a race inside our shop, really. There's 5 trucks. Who's going to be first one out of the 5? Today marks our first time on our first truck in the wind tunnel. Super excited about that. So Butterbean and Daniel, they're going to have a big fight on their hands because I'm going to tell you, Justin Haley has a little thorn in his side right now to show everybody he belongs. So that's going to be a fun 3-guy race to run for the championship and drivers and owners.
Before we move on, I guess I'm a little nosy because there's the racer in me. What did you do with your O'Reilly Auto Parts cars and your Cup cars?
So we still going to do Cup racing. And it's actually in the area I'm at. Like I'll start with the Cup. We got to stand on our own. We have no more alliance with RCR. We're done. It's over. The relationship was great. No hard feeling. Everything's great. So they were basically could not help us anymore because obviously everybody's thinking Dodge is coming back to Cup, which they haven't announced or even said. Whether they're coming back to Cup, they're focused on the Ram product right now. And so we got to stand on our own. So we build our own bodies. We have our own SIM. We're doing all that. We're working through that. They will be Chevys inside the Cup Series with AJ Allmendinger and Ty Dillon driving those cars again one more time or next year.
Yeah.
O'Reilly cars we got rid of. We were able to. We ran so well in those cars. We were able to sell over 20 cars to that new Peterson
Holy
group.
moly!
Yeah. Well, that's just one side of it.
Yeah.
We sold over 20 cars to those guys, the Peterson group, and we sold over 10 cars to the Viking Motorsports. So we two people acquired all of our Xfinity stuff. We don't have spindles. We don't have anything. All of that stuff's gone. They have a relationship with RCR, an alliance, so it worked out for everybody. RCR was able to provide them with good cars to start their alliance well, and we were able to get rid of them. And we sold them pretty cheap, Kenny. You know, we wanted them. I mean, we got 5 trucks inside of our truck shops to my right.
Yeah.
Your guys left. When you have that many trucks, we're gonna have 38 trucks. I think is where we're gonna end.
Lord.
Yeah. So, like, you got to have some room.
Hey, just want to add this real quick. You are in Welcome, North Carolina. You are on the Richard Childress Racing properties. Is that correct?
No, we own our property. We own 14 acres. We own 2 buildings. We actually just acquired another building across town, and we rent a space up top. So we own it's an industrial park. It's called the Welcome Industrial Park.
Okay.
Richard built in here, and Richard owns, I think he owns like 5 buildings in here.
Got it.
And we would buy up all the buildings in here if we could, because we could use them with all of Matt's companies. Because this is a great central. When we built the program, we built it in case Matt quit. So like, this is a great central location for distribution for leaf filter, Action Industry, and the doors, all the stuff that he does with Erie Construction. Like, this is a great central location that you can get to. Interstates are close. 40's right up the road here. 85's right over there. 52's right here. 77. There's a ton of interstates to get things where you need to go. So when we came in here, Davidson County welcomed us with open arms. This is why we are here. And it worked out that it was Richard Childress Racing. So we have 2 great buildings and 14 acres that we own right here inside of the Welcome. I think it's the Welcome Industrial Center. I don't know exactly what they call it, but they always call it, you're on Richard Childress property. We are not on Richard Childress property. We own our own buildings.
Well, you know,
we have these, Kenny. We have these. These key things that it takes to get in the building. You know, where you got little fobs.
I don't even know what fob means, but hey, you know what? I would not be doing a good job if I didn't ask you about Matt Kaulig, the owner. Is he the owner of Leaf Filter still?
So Matt does own I think 30% of it still. Back, we were in racing 2 years, and a private equity come in and bought a lot of it, and he acquired part of it back. And now he's in with that private equity company called Gridiron. They've been very loving to us. And we kept Leaf Filter on the car. So he does still own a portion of it. But Matt Kaulig is my best friend. And I got to tell you this, when Matt came into my life, it changed my life, and I didn't even know it. He's taught me how to business. He taught me that, I am now invested over 6 different deals with Matt. So I can proudly say, if you want some wine glasses, go to GabrielGlass.com and get you some wine glasses. I will appreciate that, because I'm invested in that company with him. And he's just taught me a lot. Matt I wished I'd have met him 20 years ago, right? And everybody says that, but he is just an awesome human being. Every Giving Tuesday, and I don't know if people know what Giving Tuesday is, he gives every employee that works for him $1,000 to give to any charity that they want to give it to. So if we have 150 people here, and all of them take it, that's $15,000 he gives away out of our place. So is that right?
I don't know.
Yeah, but whatever. But anyway, he gives a lot of money away. He's a great human.
Yeah. Wow. That is, you guys do spread PMA, positive mental attitude. I first learned about that PMA years ago when Alan Quickie was racing, I think, Lonesome Pine, Virginia in an ASA race. And, it was coming down to the very end. Caution comes out, and Paul Andrews takes, back then we had the black chalkboards, and Paul Andrews wrote PMA, positive mental attitude. Basically, hey, Alan, get rid of all the demons in your head. Let's finish this race off. You're going to win it. And that's what you guys spread there. You spread a lot of positive mental attitude. I think that's important. Man, you do a good job. I like that.
Well, thanks. A lot of good people been around me, all my life to be able to, I personally went through some rough times in the last little bit, but I never brought that outside of me, because of positive mental attitude. If I can continuously focus and push that out, my girls, my grandbabies, and, they definitely will follow along. When my grandbabies see me, it's the most gratifying thing ever, because they come running to me and hug me and kiss me, and like they love me. And I want to, just like you and your kids, right? Like you have
they're everything.
Daughters. They're everything. My grandkids and my daughters are everything. And that the positive mental attitude, I try to push towards them too.
My childhood friend, Terry Phillips, his dad was Larry. Terry said to me, Herman, he says, them grandbabies are so great. I wished I could have skipped my kids. It was just good comedy,
You know why grandbabies are so good, right?
No, why?
Because you can give them back.
Yes, 100%. But boy, they are the best. And okay, now everybody, man, that took a while, but you guys got so much going on there, and I know we could keep going. But Chris, I want to celebrate you. And I listen. I'm jaded. It means I know too much. I know all about you, but I got to let you talk. Let's just start like this, okay? You are Chris Rice. Your dad built race cars. Your mom runs South Boston Speedway. Let me just say this. When did you know you were in a racing family?
I wanted to play football, Kenny. I'll be honest with you. I really did.
Got a height. You're a tall man.
Well, I was a big dude, and I was 300 and some pounds in high school, so I wanted to play football. And my dad, I do this honestly for my dad. Like, I'm proud to have my dad, and he came to the Christmas party this weekend. I do this because when we were with Jeff Burton in 1989, and we ran against you in the
Busch Grand National Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Rookie of the Year, and that was when I first met you in the Cox car. My dad had to make a tough decision in 1990. And I was a 14-year-old kid going on the road with him all the time. I had still wanted to play football. I just went with him. I still wanted to play football. I wanted to go to the NFL. I thought that was what I wanted to do because I was a defensive player, so I thought it'd be easy, Well, I hurt both of my ankles and I didn't make it. So I had to make a decision like he had to make a decision in 1990. My dad made a decision not to go to A.G. Dillard's and be the crew chief and wherever they were in Virginia because of his kids. I have a brother that many people don't know about, and then myself, and my dad made that decision. And Jeff Burton's dad helped my dad, my late Uncle Earl, start their race business. And I knew then that I had to do something to make my dad proud. He wasn't proud watching me on the football field. I can tell you that. I just know that. And what I didn't know at the time, Kenny, is we wasn't fortunate enough to have insurances to be able to take care of me if I broke my leg. I didn't know that. Like I was selfish. I was a selfish guy that just thought money grew on trees, and I wanted to get what I wanted. But my dad made a decision to start a business so he could be at home with my mom and be at home with us to finish raising us at our late age, And so with that, I was able to meet Hermie Sadler and the Sadler Group, and they were able to fulfill that part of competition in me that I had. And, that I had to make a super tough decision when I got out of college. Did I want to go and run my dad's business, or did I want to move on and be a crew chief? And I made the decision to move on and be a crew chief. Such a tough conversation with my dad that I was not going to come and run the business. But what I did do, what I didn't know God had planned for us, is we built race cars. And Elliott Sadler, I had worked with Hermie Sadler, and 90 and the late model stuff. And then he started running Busch Grand National in 93. And I was able to start spotting for him in 1993. I think, I'd been to Daytona one time, but never been like a spotter at Daytona. And I won't never forget. He's like, tells me 3 weeks before the race season, hey, you're going to spot for me this year in Busch Grand National. It's different spotters then than it is now. You would go up, you would work on the car, then you'd go up and spot, right? Like,
give me time to get up top before you go out.
Right. One radio and a headset. That's all. No waters, no nothing, right? Like you'd go up there. And I won't never forget, we were running an Oldsmobile Cutlass, if you remember. Had a big old bubble window in the back. And our car was pretty fast. The spotter was terrible. And he goes down the back straightaway, and I said, clear. I was spotting the wrong car.
Oh, no.
I'm like, my gosh. It was unbelievable. So long story short, I went and became crew chief for Elliott Sadler. My dad built the cars, and we went on to win 15, 18 races in 1 year and rocket shipped my dad's business. Mm-hmm. And it was unbelievable how many cars he had to build, how many people he had to hire. And that was all because, he had me as a crew chief, Elliott as a driver, and it rocket shipped Elliott's career. And it rocket shipped my career. I didn't know.
Was that R&R? What was the name of that?
So it was A&E Race Cars back then, but now Marcus has bought it. Marcus Richmond, and it's called R&S Race Cars.
R&S, that's it.
Yeah, okay. So it's still in the same shop. Marcus has added on.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So it's just awesome that my career went that way. And I struggled after I left Elliott on what to do. And this is when my career really jump started. I met Buckshot Jones and his dad, and was really good, and he allowed me to just help him, really. And then I came, and that's when I was at Bill. I went to Petty's with Buckshot, and I did some cup racing for a while with him, and then I went to Bill Davis, did cup racing with you, Hill's Brothers car, if you remember.
You've been to college, my friend, in a good way. You didn't jump around from team to team. It's where you were taken, and now you look at you. You're so much smarter. Yeah. So much knowledge. Now you know how NASCAR got to where they're at. I'm sorry, keep going there, but it's all.
And I'm speeding through it, and then I wanted to do the crew chiefing job back when you were going to do cup racing, and I was selfishly, that's all I wanted to do. And I was like, if I don't get Scott Wimmer's crew chiefing job, because you remember Booty left with I don't know, about 4 or 5 races to go, and I actually built the shocks for it, did the things like that, helped them out.
You're good at building shocks. Yeah, you saved me.
Yeah, so I helped them. And so, I got the crew chief job, and I didn't do the best job I could looking back on it. But who does? Yeah. And then we got you, and you believed in me, and we did a really good job.
You changed the right front shock for me at Kansas and got me going. I was too loose getting in, and we had it held down. And I know, there's little things we all remember, but let me just brag on you for a minute. Everybody listen up. You're looking at a guy that has kind of done it all, can take a shock apart, which was one of the most integral parts of any race car today. And look at you now. But, okay, so, it's hard to go 2 hours on Kenny conversation, but, so keep going. Your dad, and we got to get to your mom too.
Yeah. So I made my career and then met Matt Kaulig. We did the things we did, met Matt Kaulig, and we built this program from, we started with 12 people. I want to give it a little bit of time. We started with 12 people. We still have 9 of those people working for us today.
Wow.
So I'm proud of that. We gave away 5-year awards. Next year, we'll start giving away 10-year awards. And I'm so proud to say we keep people when we get them here. Which is cool. We have a little bit of turnover. We have more turnover this year than we've ever had, but we have more people. So I'm proud to say that I got done with the crew chief and the building the shocks. And I was like, man, I gotta run a business. I want to learn how to run a business. And we hired Nick Harrison, if you remember, the late Nick Harrison.
I do. Yeah.
We hired him as the first crew chief outside of me. We went on that year and we lost Nick Harrison, if you remember.
Yeah, what a nice man.
Right in the middle of the year like that. And man, what a defining moment of how to freaking run a race team, right? Like rally everybody up and show him love and do all that. So I've been through so much at Kaulig Racing that I could sit here for hours and tell you. We run a tractor and trailer off a mountain going to Kansas. We, I mean, we've done so many things that every race team has, but what I'll tell you, and then I'll get to my mom, that every situation I've been put in has taught me to be better. I
Yes.
didn't know it at the time, and I was very selfish and very mad about
It's
what would
part of the
happen.
journey.
It's the journey. And any kid that loves listening to Kenny Wallace and will listen to this Kenny conversation this long, what I'll tell them is if they will believe in the path and believe in the system and give every minute of every hour to what they're doing, all they can give it, it will make sense when you get later in life. I will tell them that, And my mom, where I get me from, like where I get to all the,
I love this. I love this.
She ran South Boston Speedway. She was a bus driver. I made her wreck the bus twice because I was all alone.
How'd you do that?
Well, one time I went up there, I think I moved the steering wheel and run off in the ditch. I don't know. Everything I did was stupid. So
had a steering wheel. Everything's about a steering wheel.
Everything's about a steering wheel. So she ran the racetrack for 30 plus years. She still is a consultant for him. Very smart lady. First lady.
Hold on, back up. I don't interrupt very much. You glossed over your mother ran South Boston Speedway for 30 years.
Yep. My mom, Kathy Rice, ran South Boston Speedway for 30 plus years. We think it's 35, but we're not real sure.
Time flies.
So, and Pocono bought it. So Pocono, Nick Adowski, and those guys bought it, and they love her. And have for years. The Adowski
She knows
family,
what she's doing.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. So she's awesome, and I can't wait to tell some of the stories over the past year how she's helped us because nobody knows, and it's cool. She's 70. How's my mom? 74 years old.
Young lady,
and still getting it. She came to the Christmas party this weekend. She's awesome, and she's still on the NASCAR the NASCAR appeals board. She's on she picks the Hall of Fame people. She's on that board. So she's still very active in NASCAR, and they appreciate her a lot. So kudos to my mom and dad and for all the people that have been instrumental in me getting here. I mean, I could name thousands of people that have. I went through my contacts the other day, 3,800 people in my contacts, and I would say over half of them have been instrumental in getting me here.
I've been able to have Elliott Sadler, Hermie Sadler, Ward Burton, Jeff Burton on Kenny Conversation, and I've had great conversations with them. And Elliott is the one I remember the most. He got very adamant, and he was, very good on Kenny Conversation. But when you rattle those names off, it's kind of like me right here in the St. Louis, Missouri area, and I say, Kenny Schrader and Carl Edwards and Jamie McMurray. I have my guys that went on, and what is it like in your head when you go, my God, Elliott Sadler, Jeff Burton, Ward Burton. You grew up around, you were part of superstars, and now you're a superstar too. But do you ever think about that?
Well, I think what I do think is yes, but I think if you surround yourself with good people, you're gonna be like them. Right? Like they always say that. And they were superstars. I was around superstars because I was lucky. But my dad was a superstar. My mom was a superstar. And they surrounded their people with their self with superstars. Like you, for example, you are a superstar. Like I love when you get to gaggling with these people on social media and they talk about life, right?
I don't know that guy, Chris.
Yeah.
This is Kenny Wallace right here. I don't know the guy on social.
It don't matter if he won 70 races or one race. He was very instrumental in making Dale Earnhardt. People don't understand you made Dale Earnhardt because you were a good friend of his to be able to help him in bad days. People don't understand it's just not about the racetrack. Kenny Schrader called me. I won't never forget it. He called me right when we got the Ram deal. Have you heard this story?
No, not yet, but Schrader loves trucks. I can tell you that.
I hadn't talked to Kenny Schrader in forever. I don't know the last time I talked to Kenny Schrader because I'll talk to you way more than I talk to him. He left me a message. I called him back. And he says, first off, I don't want to drive the truck, but I got this kid I need to tell you about. And I'm like, okay, thanks, Kenny. But you surround yourself with superstars.
And they're calling you.
Yeah. That's the way it is. And fans have been big for me. I love my fans. I want to get more and more fans. I want them to love. And appreciate, and I want to push out positivity, like you said. So the more fans we can get to push out positivity, we'll help the world and help America.
I love that. And we need more people to push positive mental attitude. Okay. As I say all the time, we are not going to get you in trouble, and I'm not going to get in trouble. We're closing in on 1 hour, and my Lord, did that go quick? This tells me this could easily be 3 hours or 2 days. So we you called it, I forgot what you called it just now, but we just got done with the NASCAR lawsuit. We're in Christmas. We're moving into 2026. There's a lot of great things happening in NASCAR. Things are changing. As the country people would say, things are changing. Give me a synopsis. That means give me an overview of where NASCAR is right now in your leadership brain.
So, and we can't get in trouble now because it's over. So,
yeah, but all the good stuff. No, we're moving forward. Let's just say that. We got Ram trucks coming in. We got new tracks on the schedule. We're going back. We got all good stuff.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Yeah. So first, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad it's over.
Me too.
I truly am. I'm glad it's over. We didn't put out a statement. You're welcome to put this on your social media. It's up to you. But I'm glad it's over. NASCAR is a legacy. I'm going to start it with that. Yeah. We didn't know until now the ins and outs of people's contracts and different things like that. And nor should we. We don't know what happens in your bedroom, right? Yeah. But to be fair, if you have kids, you got to be fair to them. And we're like their kids, right? And I think that's what I vision this as. Michael Jordan was part of NASCAR's kids. We were somebody that was gonna continuously bring the legacy. So he felt like that it needed to be fixed, or in his mind, fixed to be able to help the kids, right? You don't want when you pass away your kids to be poor. You don't want them to live a bad life. You don't want them to do stuff like that. And I look at it that way because I feel like NASCAR has given me a great career. So I don't want to talk zero bad about it. I love NASCAR. I love everything they do. Have they made decisions that doesn't fit team owners? Absolutely. And we got to fix that. And I think that's what Michael Jordan was all about. Now, how many times have you heard Bob Jenkins' name said? So it
None.
took a Michael, right? You took a Michael Jordan to go in there and say, guys, and I'm glad it got to a place that they settled, and not have to go to the jury to make a decision. Whether we want to say Michael was winning by a landslide or NASCAR was losing by a landslide, we don't care. I don't care as a company. I don't care as a Chris Rice. What I care about is we got to a place that Michael's happy, Jim France is happy, Ben Kennedy's happy, Lisa's happy. Everybody's happy with the decision that is made. Let's move on. Let's make it good for everybody that is involved. I think in the next, 15 days or whatever, it'll be over. Everybody will be unsigned the new charter contract. And let's move on and let's see what we can do for the race fans. And in 40 days, this will be forgotten about. Some reporter will write Michael Jordan slam dunked on NASCAR or something like that, but I don't even look at that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. Okay, so I agree with everything you said. I like the way you said it. And you and I are successful people, so we're moving on. Now, we remember everything. We log it in the back of our heads, but we're moving on. NASCAR is going to come out, and let's just talk about Cup for a minute. We've celebrated the Craftsman Truck Series. You got 5 trucks, but you still got a Cup car, 2 of them. So why have they not given us the new points championship format yet? What do you know?
I know a lot more than you think.
No, that's why I'm asking you. You're down there. I'm in St. Louis, but are they just waiting for the air?
Put on the back burner. I'll be honest with you. It got put on the back burner, and I talked to Mark Martin a lot, believe it or not. You're going to like it. You will like it. It's not exactly what everybody's posting about. I don't think. They hadn't made the final decision the last time I was involved. we need an adjustment. Do we need an overhaul? No, but we need an adjustment. I enjoy going back to Homestead, but we don't need one race to make the difference.
I agree.
Right? Because we know going to Homestead, if Kyle Larson's in the Final Four, who the heck you think's going to win?
Yeah.
If Tyler Reddick's in the Final Four, who the heck you think's going to have a shot? Like, come on. So they recognize that. The fans have been vocal. Kenny Wallace is a big advocate of this. I've watched so many times. Kenny, change the direction of the lawsuit by saying X. And I'm like, geez, that's good. We've listened as a sport, and it's going to be great. What I do know is I feel like 75% of the people are going to love it. 10% are going to be, okay, right? And that's going to leave 15% of the people that's going to hate it. So with that being said, the traditional way of doing points would be tough to do in this era because we are looking towards a younger group of people, right? So that's what we got to think about. Me and you, man, I go back and watch them old races on Tubi, and like, dude, it might be one car on the lead lap, and somebody's winning the point series by 487 points. Like, I mean, that ain't exciting to the young guy or the young woman. So we got to make it exciting. And our attention spans, my social media guy says, remember, Chris, 30 seconds long, not 4 hours, 30 seconds. So yes, sir.
I had to learn that too. I've been up and down everywhere, but okay. So it seems like we have figured out, I heard NASCAR say something that I really liked. And maybe it was Steve O'Donnell. He said, we're going back to Bowman Gray. We're going back to Wilkesboro. We're going back to Rockingham with, trucks and O'Reilly Auto Parts, so we can go out to San Diego. I think they've learned, NASCAR's learned their lesson that they can't give up all the old fans, chasing some new fans. Are you excited about going out to, what is that, Coronado Air Force Base? Am I saying it right?
Man, I'm a redneck. You know I can't say that. I just go to San Diego. Like, I have no idea.
You all, and the trucks, are the trucks doing that too?
Yeah,
all three series.
Trucks, O'Reilly, and Cup will be doing it. Yes, I'm glad we're going. So I want you to remember this, and you young guys and girls, you won't understand this, but you remember when you seen your mom and dad's old stuff in the closet, and then the next thing you know, 10 years later, you're wearing that, or somebody's wearing that exact same thing. That's what we had to do with NASCAR. We needed to get back to North Wilkesboro. We needed to get back to Rockingham. We needed to go to Bowman Gray. I think it's one going to be coming in the near future. Everybody's going to like a lot too, going back to. So I'm excited about that. We went back to Darlington on Memorial Day, I believe, right? Like that we always used to do. So yes, I love going out to San Diego. Will it run its course? Probably. We can't run around an Air Force Base for 10 years. It just doesn't work. But what we can do is we can go out there for a couple of years and make good sense of it, right? We tried the LA Coliseum. It just didn't work. Like it was not, I don't think it ever was a hit. I think NASCAR did lose a lot of money in that. But going to San Diego and being on an Air Force Base, because we live in America, everybody, USA, right? And we are very when 9/11 hit, Kenny, you remember this. You was in Cup. We were one of the first sports packed. American flags raised everywhere. When COVID hit, we were one of the first sports to hit TV again. Live sports hit TV again. So we're a sport that is aggressive. Going to San Diego, racing around on an Air Force Base is going to be fun. I've looked at the racetrack multiple times. I think we're going to take 19 cars and trucks just in case we need them, because it looks like it's going to be rough.
Oh, my Lord.
It's going to be rough.
5 trucks times 2. Yeah, that's 10. Then you got Cup cars. And
times 4, that's 14 trucks. I mean, that's 14 vehicles. So it's going to be rough. The cool thing with Cup, we go from San Diego to Sonoma. We're going to take AJ. I think we're going to Pebble Beach and do some golf in between. So that'll be fun. So I am proud and happy to go back to that. And I'm proud that North Wilkesboro has a points paying race. I think a longer race at North Wilkesboro will be fun. I hope people wreck each other like, what was it? Ricky Rudd or Kenny Bernstein or Brett Bodine wrecked Dale Earnhardt that day there. So I hope some fun stuff happens.
We'll make some moments. Well, listen, C. Rice, my dear friend, you're looking at him, everybody. Chris Rice, the new CEO of Kaulig Racing. And I know we can spend another hour. Can you believe we've gone an hour and 5 minutes and we're still rolling? You were wonderful. What else?
I'm taking pictures of it so I can post about it.
Please do.
Nothing else. I'll say this, Kenny. I'm proud of you for how open you are, and you don't give a flip about how you are, because for years you had to be politically correct, and we need people like you. I bet they still send your free hard card, even though you're aggressive with them.
I'm fair with them. I'm fair with NASCAR. I see Mike Elton all the time.
Yeah,
and he looks at me.
You are a guy that if people will watch you, I can't believe you don't have that cup wrapped with something and a sponsorship.
This is funny. It's funny. I decided to go to iced tea. I got my Sunoco coffee mug in there. You know, Sunoco's been good to me, and I decided, I don't know why, but I decided to go to iced tea, but there's iced tea in here. And
this is fun. Don't retire.
Hold on.
Don't retire. Don't quit. You know, don't do anything that will hurt the race fans. And if you'll race the Dome again,
yeah,
I promise I'll come and be your crew chief.
You know, the only reason I didn't go to the Dome is just it's so much work.
Well, let's get a group of
so much work. You know, you check in on Wednesday. The Dome is a wonderful event. I mean, it is ultra success. Well, anyway, I was going to put my, but yeah, the Dome is a wonderful event. It's just, I believe it got to be an end to everything. And yeah, but I don't think I could have got any more out of the Dome. It was so good to me.
It was.
Okay. Well, you got a lot of good ahead of you. Congratulations, Chris. And man, oh man, are you going to be busy? I know I'm going to be talking to you halfway through the year, and I'm going to be talking to you halfway through the year, and you're going to be on oxygen.
Oh, wow. You're exactly right. But I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Fans,
you guys shape
to me like I want it. I need it. And Kenny, as always, man, you make me smile. So hopefully we can make somebody smile and change their day. So thank you for having me on here. All your race fans, I appreciate you. Love you guys, and enjoy and have a Merry Christmas.
Well, you were wonderful. And with that, everybody, just a reminder, if you want to see C. Rice's pretty little face, join us right here on the Kenny Wallace YouTube show. Or if you're headed down the road and you're headed to Daytona for the start of the new Daytona 500, listen to him on Dale Jr.'s Dirty Mo podcast. Until the next Kenny conversation, goodbye, everybody.